It doesn't take a walking Wikipedia to know Munich is a city in the south of Germany, the capital of Bavaria. It is the richest region at the crossroads of trade routes in the very heart of Europe, the realm of the beer, sausages, and super expensive cars. Danke schön, they say when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So, in Bavaria, I shall do as the Bavarians do. And what exactly do the Bavarians do? This, my friends, I'm determined to find out. According to the latest statistics, 1.5 million people live in Munich, plus at least as many tourists come here from all over the world. Every one of them, sooner or later, comes to the same place, Viktualienmarkt, the central Munich market. It is located within a 5-minute walking distance from the main city square, Marienplatz. According to many experts, Viktualienmarkt is Germany's best food market. In the south, it borders with the spacious Frauenstrasse, and in the north with a street named after the very market, Viktualienmarkt. Try to picture what the chief meat dealer in Bavaria should look like. Well, probably he's a husky, thick, gray-haired, mustached, hat-wearing guy. Elderly too, because, as you know, there's no becoming a chief meat dealer in Bavaria quickly. Pictured? And now forget it. My friends, meet Jelena Friedel, meat dealer number 1 in Bavaria. Jelena, don't your male colleagues laugh at you? And how did you manage to become the number 1 meat dealer here in Bavaria?
To be honest, my husband helped me with this. We work here together, so my colleagues don't laugh at me. We are sharing duties with my husband, clearly. He's engaged in meat procurement, and the sale is entirely on me.
What are we? Meat. The Bavarians can safely say this about themselves. Without all kinds of sausage rolls, knockwursts, and sausages, their life would have been less serene. Meat, precisely pork, is delivered to Frau Friedel and her market peers only from local Bavarian pig farms. Bavarians are patriots of their country, and this patriotism, of course, is reflected in the gastronomy sphere as well, eating pigs from other regions of Germany. According to the Bavarians, is a real piggery, no more and no less. Tell me, perhaps a vegetarian has nothing to eat in Bavaria. Can they die of hunger?
Nowadays, the idea of vegetarianism is gaining increasing popularity among young people. But among my friends, there's not a single vegetarian, so I don't even know what a vegetarian could do in Bavaria.
What kind of meat products can be considered here the most traditional Bavarian?
First of all, it's Munich liverwurst. It flies off the shelves. Both separately and in the form of all sorts of sandwiches. All kinds of pork is very popular too.
What do you personally prefer?
I really like liverwurst. And of course, fried pork. We usually prepare this dish on weekends, although probably there are those who eat it every day.
In Russia, we're used to the fact that eating pork every day is very fattening. How do you deal with this?
You're right. Eating fatty foods regularly isn't good. My work, however, I'll tell you honestly, is quite strenuous. To do it well, one has to eat well.
Many Munichers call their city the secret capital of Germany without too much vanity, just like the fact of its being the capital of Bavaria, which was an independent kingdom for more than a century back in the day, isn't enough. Bavarian kings, as it befits crowned heads, were literally swimming in luxury. The very finest goods were delivered to their court from all over the world, and from all over Munich, of course. The western part of the modern city, the district of Nymphenburg, reminds of those times. The most exclusive shops of the city are concentrated here. Whoa, ho, ho, ho! 2,100 euros. The biggest beer mug in the world. In order to down this mug, you need to have the biggest beer belly in the world. Me, thank God I'm in no luck for that yet. I hope I'm not too modest, but I'll probably get myself a smaller mug, and it seems like I'm in the right place for the accomplishment of this task. $50 rating. Beer plays a critical role in the life of Germans. Yearly, every German drinks about 130 liters of beer, and Bavarians even more. 180 liters, that is a half liter a day, if you count the entire population from babies to very old men. They drink it from their traditional beer mugs, of course. A local dealer, Nicholas, or simply Nick, volunteered to help me choose such a mug. At the same time, he took on the role of an assistant. In a regular section, $50. How could any option to spend $50 be more perfect? My friends, I'm so cramped in here that I feel like a bull in a china shop. But look at all the dishware here. You're probably already thinking, Branikov came to Bavaria. When will he finally settle down at a table with a mug of the foamy drink and ham hock? I'll eat for your health today, no worries. But here's what I'm saying. In Moscow, you can find German cuisine aplenty, and it's about the same quality as here. They've acquired culinary skills, but you can buy unique mugs only here because their design is carefully protected by the state, and they're not produced anywhere else. Nick, tell me what's the meaning behind the limited edition of these mugs, which look more magnificent than the Stanley Cup, I declare. Yes, these mugs are absolutely unique. Every Bavarian has one. All are painted and decorated by hand. This, for example, is a mug with a piece of the Berlin Wall. No way! Is this it? Ah, a peculiar design indeed. Holding a mug in your hands with a piece of the Berlin Wall on it kinda makes you want to start kissing Honecker once you've downed this mug, right? You know, yes, Brezhnev and Honecker kissing on the piece. Oh well, this historic property costs 83.5, and rightly so. I can see the familiar Soviet concrete too. Aren't you too young, buddy, to be dealing with beer mugs? Mind showing me your ID, huh? I'm 25. It's all about beer. If you drink it in moderation, it makes you look younger. You know, somehow I agree with you. I don't feel like arguing. Tell me about other mug designs. Here are two types of mugs, a plainer one and an intricate one in terms of pattern and ornaments. The most popular are mugs with the coat of arms of Bavaria, other regions as well. Why does this small mug cost 55 euros and this bigger one is 46.5? Seems kind of illogical. The bigger one is a simple one, and the one that's smaller is more intricate, therefore it's more expensive. My friends, you know, in a country where there are such fancy beer mugs, the national football team has no right to lose. It seems these mugs were made for celebrations. Are these beauties only meant for drinking at home? Previously, the Bavarians used to be able to always bring their own mugs to any pub. I'm not sure if this is still in practice up to now. Is there any standard size, say, as a pint in England? A liter is our standard. Also 0.7 mugs. Does it make any sense to buy a very big mug? It seems like the beer will go off before you've drowned this mug. It holds true if you pour beer into a regular mug. But traditional Bavarian mugs have lids. If you close it, the drink doesn't go off and its temperature remains unchanged. Surprise me, what's your favorite size? I mean, of beer mugs, of course. I personally like 0.7. Well then, buddy, size doesn't matter after all. You know, if such a mug suits you, then it will suit me all the more. I'm taking it. I think you've made the right choice. Good, let's go to the cash desk. Come on. Hi, how much do I owe? 36.95. I shouldn't say the word discount, of course. No. Having got myself a real masterpiece of the local artisans as something to remember Munich by, I decided to visit another extremely interesting place in the city. One could go there on foot, but I decided to make a big entrance. When you're in Munich, my friends, choose the ways and modes of entrance. Entering the place where I'm heading now, in another way, is not the behavior of a gentleman like me.
Greetings. Welcome.
Wow, I'm Alexander.
And I'm Bridget.
I'm very pleased to meet you, Brigitte. Well, show me your kingdom.
With pleasure.
Frau Brigitte Meyer's domain is a few hundred square meters of true luxury. The land of descendant Bavarian dandies. Don't bother if you're a hipster. You don't have enough money anyway. The prices are through the roof, of course. A pair of socks, for example. It costs about 60 euros. Yes, you heard it right. 60 euros for socks. In such socks as the classic road, you can engage anyone and anywhere. Frau Meyer, I feel a little uncomfortable in your store. Well, look at me, and then at all these suits. Why do such personable gentlemen, the creme de la creme of Munich, come to your store?
I must say, any shopper is welcome. The main feature of our store is that we choose goods very carefully. In our store, you can purchase only the best Bavarian clothes and shoes.
Really, my friends, I'm afraid to even check the bottom of this shoe. I think it costs as much as a used car, but nevertheless, when you buy this shoe in such a store, you understand you'll be wearing it for the rest of your life, and maybe, perhaps, your grandchildren will be wearing it too. Frau Meyer, what's the essence of the Bavarian fashion?
Bavarians are very fond of distinctness and quality. No one else should have the same things or clothes they have. Therefore, practically all our items are single copies.
Tell me, where did your store start from?
All of my ancestors were shoemakers. All came from Munich. This store was founded by my great-grand-grandfather. Thanks to the quality of his shoes, in 1896 he became the official supplier of the Bavarian royal court. Nowadays, there are no kings in Bavaria, but the shoes we make are still royal.
Frau Meyer, to my mind, it takes an owner of a small castle in the mountains to wear such clothes every day, don't you think?
Buying such shoes may well be the first step on the road to buying your own castle. One has got to start somewhere.
Yeah, well, in general, one should really build their small future castle, at least plan its construction, while walking around a residential area in a shoe that costs 1,180 euros. This is the limousine among shoes, my friend. Take my word. And what's so special about it? Why does it cost so much?
Everything is. The treatment, the stitching, the material. This is the best calfskin. The craft, the 200-year-old tradition.
Calfskin shoes. 1,180 euros. Ja, natürlich. In these shoes, my friends, you'll definitely leave a mark in history. Frau Meyer, tell me honestly, who are the customers of your store? Industrialists, bankers, presidents, Angela Merkel's husband.
We may not disclose information about our customers, but take my word for it. They're famous and wealthy people. I can name Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger?
I think he won't mind.
Take my word for it, this shoe is so heavy that no one except Schwarzenegger can wear it. What's his shoe size, by the way?
Oh, his foot is very, very small.
I knew it. However, as you know, the merchandise of Frau Meyer's store is not limited by the shoes with an exorbitant price tag. Having a desire and, most importantly, the financial ability, you can dress yourself head to toe here. Well, considering my sizzling looks, hats in Mediterranean tones always suit me. Is this also a historical kind of hat, or is it a modern style? For 278 euros, my friends.
This is a classic hat, and it's worn by the inhabitants of the Bavarian Alps. Its shape has remained the same for many years, as well as the material, suede and wool.
I see. Frau Meyer, tell me, do you dress like that every day, or do you have specially dressed up for me?
Thank you for the compliment. Of course, it's all for you. Usually, I dress much simpler.
It suits you very well.
Sasha, I think it's time for you to feel like a real Bavarian too. Come with me.
Let's go.
Sasha, in my opinion, you look amazing. What do you think?
Frau Meyer, you know, weird desires have come to my mind. For the first time in my life, I want to lend someone money. Such a suit, of course, makes you stand up straight and walk slowly. I feel like a Bavarian king and Baron Munchausen at the same time. By the way, what's the next on my schedule? Right, an act of bravery. Still had an informal visit to pay to the charming Frau Astrid Lockhart, the owner of a small silver shop located in the heart of Munich. Here she is.
Welcome.
Oh, danke schön.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Of course I would, and this will be our 5 o'clock.
We drink tea a little earlier than is customary in England, but our tea is just as good.
Tell me, how much does the set cost from which we are now lingering over our tea?
This is a German handmade, the 1930s. It cost almost 2,000 euro. By the way, it was silver teapots that were used before. Firstly, it looks nice. And secondly, silver is an excellent antiseptic.
Frau Astrid, how can German silver be recognized? What are the peculiarities of its style?
It's easiest to do this by the mark that must be present on each item. This, for example, is Dresden silver. Very delicate work. The 18th century, 1919 euro.
A 3 centuries old silver sugar bowl for as little as 1,990 euros. Reduction on taken a quantity. You know, I'm traveling around the capitals of Europe. I'm interested in silver, why deny it? And here's what I noticed. The price of silverware depends mainly on how much silver it contains and what alloy it is, and to a lesser extent, on the delicacy of work and its age. Is that so?
Of course, the most important thing is item's weight. That is how much silver there is in it. The item age is no less important. Delicacy of work plays a big role too. The more delicate it is, the higher the price.
They say diamonds are a girl's best friend, but in your case, your best friend, and not just a friend but a relative, is silver. How come you have such a good knowledge of it, Frau Astrid?
You're absolutely right. I like silver more. It was my father who began dealing with it. He was a passionate collector and a talented entrepreneur. I followed in his footsteps and eventually became knowledgeable in the matter.
You know, I was talking in the Izmailovsky market with our silver dealers. They said that Russian silver is more expensive because there's less of it left on the market. A lot of it was lost during the revolution, is it so?
Yes, it is. There's very little of Russian silver. Nowadays, customers from Russia buy lots of silverware, thus contributing to the historic return of silver to its homeland.
My friends, I want to partake of this most noble process of returning Russian silver back home. Do you have anything small and inexpensive, and Russian too, in your store, except me?
I think I've got something for you. Look, what a beautiful teaspoon. This is around 1910. What do you think of it?
Ah, my friends, it's written here AF. These are the initials of the last Russian Tsarina, Alexandra Fyodorovna. A silver spoon from the palace, my friends. Wie viel?
25 euros for you.
25 euros. How nice it feels to become a Russian hero for 25 euros, my friends. Bitte. Vielen Dank doesn't buy groceries, but change does. I'll return to Russia with this spoon, and it will be 25 grams of silver more in our mother Russia. I hope this helps our economy.
I'll wrap it up for you.
Das ist fantastisch. Ja, natürlich, Margarita. I enjoyed Munich so much. I've refreshed my heart, mind, and stomach. I spent time nicely and profitably. I didn't want to leave, but I had to. The User's Guide to Munich. Point 1. Munich is quality. Of course, there are consumer goods here too, but if a product has Made in Germany written on it, rest assured that it will last till even your grandchildren, no matter how much you paid for it. Point 2. Munich is delicious. Restaurant serves are intended mainly for people wearing the XXL size. No wonder this is the most popular size in Germany. Oh yeah, vegetarians will feel bored here. Point 3. Munich is punctuality. If closing time is 8 p.m., it means it will close at 8, period. And there's no, it'll only take me a couple of seconds. At this moment, millions of people are buying and selling something somewhere, which means I need to go there. I'm Alexander Pryanikov, and this was the World Market Show.